Yo, what is up guys? It is your boy Antoine Jamison coming at you with another video today. In this video I wanted to talk about my favorite under the radar player signings of the offseason. These are players who sign contracts this offseason. Most of these players really are not on people's radar. Like, they see the signing, they say, oh, that can be cool, but don't really think twice about it. This is mainly for players who are under 10 million, I would say. I don't think I have anyone on here who has over a $10 million contract. This is just 6 different players that I believe will make an impact next season. The first player on my list is Patterson. He signed a 3-year deal with Oklahoma City for $16.4 million. So he's going to be making about $5-6 million per year with the Oklahoma City Thunder, and I honestly think that is a great contract for them. I know he was originally on the Kings, and then he went over to the Raptors. I honestly think that he really hasn't been in a position to succeed yet. I mean, he was really good on the Raptors. Don't get me wrong. I really loved his game when he was on the Raptors, and he was a really good player off the bench. But I honestly think that with Oklahoma City being a West team and them actually picking up Paul George and having something to look forward to next season, I honestly can see Patterson helping out a lot more than people are expecting. I really love his game, and I hope to see him do well next year. Another player that I really like the signing of is PJ Tucker. He signed a 4-year, $32 million contract with the Houston Rockets. The Houston Rockets kind of gutted their entire team to trade for Chris Paul, which was a good move in my opinion. I really like the game of Chris Paul, but I don't think either team really got fleeced in that trade. So, but that's for another video, or that's a whole different topic. I really like the signing of PJ Tucker. The one thing a lot of people were worried about was you picked up Chris Paul, you had James Harden, but how are you really going to stop the Warriors? PJ Tucker is not going to stop Durant, but he will slow him down. He is a great player. I think he's a great defender, and I honestly am excited to see what the Rockets can do with him next year. Another player that got picked up in free agency that I really like is Langston Galloway. Langston Galloway signed a 3-year, $21 million contract with the Detroit Pistons. Now, I don't really think the Detroit Pistons are going to be looking to compete or looking to contend next year, but I really like the signing of Langston Galloway. Langston, he hasn't really done much in the league so far. He was on the Knicks, and then he moved over to the Kings, so he really hasn't had a chance to, show off his prowess on a team that would kind of need it. He put up decent numbers for both teams. I'm really looking forward to seeing what he can do. I know the Pistons kind of have a big log in the backcourt with Ish Smith and Reggie Jackson. But I really like Langston Galloway, and I'm really excited to see what he can do next year on a new team. Hopefully he expands his game, and hopefully he picks up what he did that first year when he was in New York, when he became probably the second best player on that team behind Melo. The third player on my list is a player that did sign more than $10 million, but I really think that the move was under the radar, was Bojan Bogdonovic. Bojan was on the Nets, and then he got traded to the Wizards last season around mid-time. He really helped him out near the end of the season, and I'm really excited to see what he can do next year on the Pacers. The Pacers really just traded away, Paul George. They don't really have a future mortgage up other than Miles Turner, so picking up a small piece like Bojan, even though it's not really like an amazing piece, I honestly thought that was a great move in my opinion, because Bojan probably could expand his game within the next couple years and, really be a force on the Pacers. So I'm excited to see that as well. Another player that I really like the signing of was Ben McLemore. Ben McLemore signed a 2-year deal with the Memphis Grizzlies. The Memphis Grizzlies really don't have that much of a future. They lost a couple of key pieces in this last offseason, such as Zach Randolph and Vince Carter. Even though they were older, they were still a part of that grit and grind team that made the conference finals a couple years ago. So it was sad to see, but honestly, if they're looking towards the future, I think Ben McLemore was a perfect piece to pick up in that situation. He was a king for the past 4 seasons, and he's never really had a chance to, show himself off. Obviously, he's had numbers, and they're not good numbers. I've been a huge fan of McLemore ever since he came into the league. I wanted the Hornets to pick him up about 4 years ago whenever he was a rookie. But I mean, what can you do? I'm excited to see what he can do in the Grizzlies. He was a good player in college. He really hasn't been on a good team his entire career yet. He's only been playing on the Kings. So hopefully next year there's a resurgence. If not, I mean, it's just the Grizzlies. Like, they're not looking to contend. They're not really looking to do anything but, develop younger pieces for this next year. So I'm actually excited to see what he can do next year. Hopefully he ends up exceeding expectations on that Grizzlies team and maybe picking up a bigger contract like a couple years down the road. Hopefully he can be a piece for the Grizzlies in the future. But I'm excited to see what he can do. Now, the last player that I really enjoy, this is probably my favorite young player in the league that isn't like a top tier talent such as Andrew Wiggins. This is Alan Williams. Alan Williams was a rookie in 2015. He didn't get picked up by a team. He played summer league for us, which is when I first got a hold of him, even though I wasn't really on a Alan Williams hype train, if that makes sense. I don't really know how good he was playing because honestly I wasn't watching the Suns back then, but just looking at the stats after games, Alan Williams was dropping a double-double pretty much every game that Tyson Chandler was out, so I'm definitely really excited to see what he can do. He's also only a 6'8" center, and I really like undersized players. I don't know, I think he's going to be great next season. He'll probably move into that starting role on the Phoenix Suns. I know Tyson Chandler's still there, and I know they have Alex Len. Obviously, Alex Len still has room to develop, and he might become a good player within the next few years, but I honestly like Alan Williams a little bit better. But yeah, that has been my 6 under-the-radar players who recently signed contracts this offseason who could do something in the next year or two. Obviously, I don't think any of these players are going to become superstars, but I really am looking forward to seeing what they can do on their respective teams. The 2 players that I'm probably looking most forward to is Ben McLemore and Alan Williams, just because I really like those 2 probably for the past couple years, and I'm just excited to see what they can do. If you agree with me or disagree with me, leave a comment down below. Tell me where I'm wrong. Tell me why I'm wrong. Tell me what you think. Tell me some young players who you think are going to be doing work in the NBA in the next couple seasons. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this video, and I will see you guys later. Bye.